I'm not going to do that, I promise. I'm going to blow through this. So I'm here to talk today about organizational learning and how it can be made personal. When I talk about organizational learning, really what I'm talking about is the organizations around the world who are creating learning opportunities that are free for educators and that really give you the opportunity to connect with other people. And so you think about the system of professional development that we currently have. We have mandates from state, local, and federal governments that tell us we have to have so much learning that happens per year. And what that does is that really defines learning in such a narrow way. And it changes the way that we interact. We don't have that choice anymore. We don't have the ability to make the choices about what our professional learning entails. And so really what we're doing is we're learning through proximity. And we're learning from the people who are down the hall. And that's great because those are smart people. And we have professional development opportunities that are set up for us as educators that are great because they're set up by smart people. But it doesn't give us the opportunity to choose. And so if you think about where you started your professional learning, really was in undergraduate school. Or when you were doing your undergraduate, you were learning how to become a teacher, right? And then shortly after that, hopefully for you, you became a teacher, and you were determined. I know I was determined to be a really good teacher, and I was going to be a good teacher, and then I realized I have to survive, because the kids, they keep coming, and they're not going to stop coming one day just because my class is done. And so I started looking for professional development. I looked for professional development opportunities. Where I looked at my district. My district had new teacher orientation, they had boot camps, they had all of these activities, professional development for me that was great. But again, it was set up for me. Then, like any dutiful teacher, I went back to school. And I went back and got my master's degree. And this was the first time I wanted to study instructional technology. This was the first time that I really had the ability to make choices for my own professional learning and to really choose my own path and decide what it was that interested me that I could learn about as a teacher, as a professional, going into my classroom. And so essentially what I started doing is I started looking for resources and I started looking for ways, things for my kids to do and different activities, inspiration and ideas from teachers around the country. And so the place that I looked at that time was through NCTE. It was my professional learning organization. I read, now this was, a number of years ago, but I read English Journal, I read Council Chronicle. The web didn't hold that for me yet because it really wasn't a thing yet. But then, shortly after that, in 2004, I got to go to Indianapolis for my first annual convention. And this is your first annual convention, welcome. But my first annual convention completely changed my approach to education because I started meeting people outside of my little world, outside of the four walls of my district that inspired me to imagine and to create and to learn and to really give me that professional learning that I needed through the people that I saw. And so if you think about your professional learning, do you have a network? Well, I saw your graphics, sorry about that. But do you have a network that helps you with that? Mine is ever changing. And it's because of organizations like NCTE that kind of prompted this. So after NCTE, I started looking for other organizations. I went to Discovery Education because that's one of the things that my school provided me was Discovery Education. I joined the Discovery Education's network. I got on the Leadership Council, and that became another node of my professional learning. Then that led me to ISTE. And I noticed that a lot of my networks were starting to overlap because I was meeting lots of different people and seeing what was capable out there. And so I started learning about the nets and I started meeting people there. ISTE led me to Google, and I became a Google certified teacher about 4 years ago. And it was awesome, wasn't it, Amy? It was fantastic. And that has changed the way that I look another time, the way that I look at education because of the network. And it's the networks that I belong to that are provided by organizations. I guess my point here is to get involved. And not only you're here. Get your teachers involved. Get your colleagues involved. Find an ed camp. Join an ed motor group. Join English Companion. And really get involved in those things. These are all different tools that you can use to get involved. The tool doesn't matter. Okay? It's where you find your network. If you want to find your network on Twitter, right on. If you find your network on Facebook, that works too. Okay? It's not the tool that makes the network. It's finding the network based on the people that you can learn from. And if you do that, you will stop learning only through proximity. you will start learning from the people out in the world that really can help shape your learning from then on. Thank you.